Hi, this is Philip here from Nathan Trust, and welcome to another episode of Coming Back from Zero, a series of conversations with businesses that have been severely impacted by the COVID-19 crisis. Today we speak to Mirco, the owner of Mirco's Restaurant, an Italian restaurant based in the centre of Cork City. Like most restaurants, Mirco was forced to close on the 13th of March due to the COVID crisis, but Mirco has still managed via his takeout catering service to provide his loyal customers with the great Italian food they have grown used to. So even though they are tough times for the restaurant industry, it turns out to be quite an insightful and inspirational 40-minute conversation with Mirco that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Okay, I'm here with Mirco from the restaurant De Mirco's, which is based in Bridge Street, Cork. De Mirco's has the simple ethos to serve traditional Italian recipes that reflect the Italian culture of Mirco's love of home. So, welcome, Mirco. Thanks for taking the time.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit fed up, stuck at home. But other than that, so I suppose the first thing is for people that don't know your excellent Italian restaurant, maybe just explain a little bit about your business.
Yeah, I'm open about 2 years. Well, it'll be 2 years now at the beginning of May, and I just want to bring a bit of Italian experience from where I'm from. So it's northern Italy. So my food is mainly northern Italian food. Now then, going without too much information, but we're trying to respect this seasonality as well. So where I come from, it's a mountains region. So let's say autumn and winter time, it's very easy for me to make my own dishes. I'll try to be a bit more, let's say, Southern Italian when it comes to summer, only because our food from northern Italy might be very heavy with a lot of cheeses and, kind of heavy sauces. So it's not that all the time I use northern Italian recipe, but it's what I try to get close to. And we make all our fresh pasta in the restaurant, something that it's a bit of an art that not many restaurants even in Italy do, but it's part of our culture. I remember with my grandmother making pasta on Sundays or weekends or for celebration. So it's something I wanted to recreate just because it's something that talks about myself. And
so it's a family recipe, the pasta, is it?
Yeah, it's family recipes, but I mean, now pasta is a bit strange because sometimes it all depends, the amount of flour that you put with the kind of humidity. So depends as well. It's let's say I kind of invented a recipe for our restaurants. If I was maybe somewhere else, it could be slightly be different on the ratio between water and flour that we put in. But yeah, it's a very close recipe to what I learned to make it when I was a youngster and teenager. And then I came to Ireland, and I always work in this kind of hospitality business in restaurants. I was in the English market for 14 years in the restaurant in the Farmgate. And then I decided to open myself. And I wanted to do something that really reflect Italy because unfortunately, outside of Italy, I've always seen a very, very wrong way of doing Italian restaurants. Like here in Ireland, in UK, I was in the States. So it's more like to please the locals more than actually trying to bring the authentic experience of real Italian food. And it's something I wanted to do because it's really, I feel a bit of an ambassador of Italian food when it comes, because it's my passion and it's it's my culture.
And do you think you can, the reason that countries didn't have proper Italian food, why do you think that was the case?
No, okay, first of all, I want to think that maybe, I don't know, I read of Italian communities coming to Dublin in the 60s, okay? And the 70s, especially, I think they were from Lazio, the Lazio region, so southern than Rome. So when they came in the 60s or 70s, it was very hard to get Italian products. And I think so they did try to use whatever they could find to recreate Italian food. And so they had to please as well the locals. Like, people were not traveling at the time. So it's understandable. But when you come to 2010 and go on for the last 20, 30 years, where Irish people, in this example, they've been traveling a lot and they've been to Italy so many times, and they don't mind to try food when they go over, and they love it. So I don't know why we cannot do it here in Ireland, So, and to be honest, I was a bit anxious at the beginning to do something. I'm not doing anything different. I'm doing something very traditional and very simple, okay? So, but people understand it. I mean, my customers are all, I maybe got one person out of 1,000 that didn't get what I'm doing. So
who is your typical customer? Is it old, young, or is it very mixed, being a restaurant in the city center? Or
it's mixed. Now I get your generation, my generation, I mean, I get from 25 to 80 years old, but let's say I think my general customers would be between 40 and 60. That's the average, especially couples, and a lot of, foreigners. I call myself a foreigner. I'm not Irish yet, so there are a lot of. I have a lot of Italians coming, French, Spanish. They do live here in Cork, Brazilian. So it's mainly Corkonian, all right? It's mainly Corkonian, but there is as well like a community of people working in Ireland from other countries, and they I think they love it. That's what they tell me. Then, of course, I can't please everybody.
But I guess it's repeat customers is the big judge of it. And how many seats do you have in the restaurant?
About 35 seats.
It's kind of one sitting a night, two sittings a night.
Well, no, on a Friday and Saturday, I would turn the table twice. No, I get very busy. Can you hear me?
Generally work.
Sorry, can you hear me?
We're back there now.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Now, I was saying on a Friday and Saturday night, I would get 2 seatings. During the week, if there is a show in the Everyman or the Opera House, I could, I could even do 50 people. If not, like on a Tuesday night, because I'm only open at night time. Tuesday night could be quiet, but again, it's... I think I'm still quite young. Not many people know that I'm around. So
you're in business 2 years, and and your premises. I presume you're renting that premises.
I'm renting. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm renting the place. Yeah.
And I guess 2 years into it, I don't know. I'm sure restaurants fail quickly if they fail, and you're starting to get repeat customers. You're starting to really get a core customer base.
Yes. Well, that's now without being not that I've always, my focus is to look after local people. Okay, so it's been always in my mind. It's who I want to work with. Not that I don't want tourism or tourists coming. But I don't know. I'm more like a guy that likes to deal with loyal customer that comes back now. And nothing to be said wrong against tourists, because let's say in July and August, when a lot of my locals, they go away on holiday, it's good to have the tourists. But I'm not like a place in Temple Bar where just focus about the tourists. Cork, even if it's a tourist city, I think still very much local. So that's why I'm focusing very much on looking after my locals. Maybe working inside in the English market for so many years, it put this mind in myself of looking after locals. But I don't know, it's just the way I am and the way I want my business to go, forward. So
it makes sense. And And in the build up to, like, I'm guessing, when did you close your doors? Was it March 12th? March 13th?
14, the Saturday, the last day was the Saturday, was the 14th, yeah.
And was it
Saturday.
a build up to then? Had you kind of half the capacity?
Oh, the last, no, well, okay. So starting from, I tell you, on the 21st of February, we had the first problem in Italy, southern of Milan, with COVID-19. So I was following the Italian news very closely. And then on the 7th of March, we had a completely lockdown of the country. So since the 21st February, I was having in place, like gels, washing hands. I had the staff meeting with my staff because I don't know, not that I thought, look, if it arrived in Italy, it would arrive in Ireland, okay? But many people in Ireland don't think at that stage we're worrying about this, okay? I was quite anxious and I was worried, and then I was thinking, oh, I'm an Italian restaurant, I'm Northern Italian, people knows I'm from Lombardy, maybe they're not coming to my restaurant because they think that I'm infected. But now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean Cork people are racist or anything like that. But I have to go back. The Italian people, when these things erupted in China, they started to boycott Chinese restaurants in Italy. So I started to freak out and thinking, oh, now they're going to do this to me, you know. Now, it's so stupid by the Italian to boycott Chinese restaurant in Italy. But I was so worried, and I was keep telling this my wife, and I was so busy until the 7th of March. So like the core people, they were not giving a damn if I was coming from wherever. It was only myself panicking, worrying about the business, and thinking, oh, these things is going to come, what's going to happen. But the last week, let's say from the 7th of March to the 14th of March was so quiet. It was very quiet because I think we had the first person dying in Ireland on the 9th, I think, or the 10th of March. So people started to become very cautious and they didn't want to go out or anything. So I just follow what the HSE was giving us for restaurants, spacing tables and all.
And they gave you clear guidelines?
Well, I remember they gave us clear guidelines on the Friday and we closed on the Thursday. But I was already doing this voluntarily already at the beginning of the week. So I was spacing tables by 1 meter because at the beginning was by 1 meter, keeping tables distances. So I wasn't at full capacity, but anyway, there was no need to be a full capacity because I was very quiet. So So
it was kind of like March, business was strong up to March 7th.
Yeah.
Then you started seeing a week of it falling down.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I was down 120% in a week.
And then you closed the doors then on the 14th.
I closed the doors and I didn't know what to do. And then on the back of my mind, there was always these things about like a catering menu. So like a catering menu where I could cater for communion, birthdays, parties, celebration in general, right? And very simple food, a bit different of what I do in the restaurant, but let's say trays of lasagna, trays of baked pasta, trays of meatballs and tomato sauce, homemade focaccia that we make, pizza, but made in a tin. So kind of very homemade pizza because I don't have a wood fire oven. Trays of tiramisu, things very simple, okay? But very simple food, but tasty, okay? I would.
And is that during the quiet week from the 7th? You're thinking about what am I going to do? Did you think you were going to close your doors? Was that clear to you that you were going to? The government was going to make you shut down?
No, I knew it. I knew it. I mean, I knew it by myself that would happen because it did happen already in Italy, and it was starting all around Europe. It was starting in Spain. So it was just a matter of time. And I do think that it was the right decision. I think it was the right and wise decision by the government. I think when schools when schools start to close, everything else will close down. We close down in a country, you know.
And so from a revenue perspective, then, like, I suppose January and February, March, are they quiet months of the year traditionally, or were they reasonably
to be
busy
honest,
for you?
so for me was let's say
how was business doing relative, you know?
Okay, for me it was year number 2 for January, February. So I don't have many years to compare, okay, comparison. Now, last year, 2019, January was busier for me than this January 2020, okay? But February for me, 2020 was very busy, very, very busy. So I was very, very busy, more than last year. And the first week of March I was already busier than last year. So I kind of thought, oh, look, the economy is good, people are out, it seems to me good. And then these things happen. But to be honest, it's out of our control. So,
and then, so once you don't have extra revenue outside the restaurant. Once the restaurant closes, that's all you're.
No.
And how many people do you working for you?
I have so in total we are 6. So sorry, there's 6 plus me. I have 2 full-timers and 4 part-timers. So, well, one part-timer wasn't working very much January, February because it was a bit quieter, but so it's me and it's me. So basically I have 2 chefs in the kitchen, 2 full-timers, then there is me and 3 other girls that float around between the kitchen and the dining room.
And then obviously the revenue stops coming in. So, like, did you immediately talk to your landlord and get a rent freeze, or?
Yeah. I mean, no, my landlord has been quite supportive. So we, you know, it's been good. So he's understanding the situation. Most of suppliers are excellent, are really good. So
how many days food would you have? So, like, were you able to see this coming and not ordering a lot of food, or were you caught with a lot of supply?
No, I was. So I always. I wasn't really much because I would say I always buy a lot of things. I buy it fresh. I buy it on the day, in the morning in the English market.
Sure.
So I saw the last 3 days, so I knew, look, let's not order this, let's not do as much of this. And, you know, to be honest, I was cutting my menu. I was doing less things in the last, like on a Friday and Saturday night, I might do 5 specials, 6 specials, you know, on the weekends. And I was only doing 3 of them that weekend, you know, the last weekend. Okay. It was pointless trying to do too much because I think I did 30 people on the last Saturday night and I did maybe 20 people on the Friday night. So it was very like, so whatever I do, I think even with these things coming, because the place, it's small, well, it's small, it's not too small, but it's small for me. But when I decided to get a business like that kind of numbers, it's because I knew that it could be easily managed by me. So sure. If there were bigger numbers now, I would be in more trouble as well, I think. Then I might be wrong. I don't know. It's just my idea. But.
And were you able, like, did you talk to your bank about overdraft facilities or term loans, or were you in contact?
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know anything to the bank. So, I mean, I contacted them to see if there was anything in place, but then I don't need anything now. So why should I worry now of something that I don't need?
So most of your costs are frozen, essentially.
Sorry?
So most of your costs are frozen, essentially. You don't have you don't have significant costs that are building up.
I mean, I think the only thing that it's been on hold now, it's January and February revenue. That, you know, that I pay every 2 months, but it's been frozen by the government, so it's not that I need to pay now. So I might consider it to. So I'm trying to pay everything that it's built up until the end of March, with utilities and everything else, because we're only in April. So by the end of this month, I'll have a better picture to see. To be honest, I don't like to bring that's you know, going forward. You know, I'd like whatever I owe, I want to pay. That's, I don't know, I have an old mind, old style mind when it comes to money, you know, just pay. But
No,
that's
I think that's sensible. And have you used the wage subsidy scheme? Have you looked at that?
I mean, for the wage, you mean wages?
Well, you said you have two part-time and four part-time and two full-time.
So
the,
all
the
my
revenue...
staff, no, all my staff, it's is with the sorry, with the subsidy scheme.
Okay.
And it's a great thing that the government did. Also, because when these things erupted, I was really worried for the first 3-4 days that I was closed, because my staff have been long time with me, and they're all young. They're all around 23, 24. I have an Irish girl, but all the rest are foreigners, and you know, they're paying rents, and you know, I was feeling that I was responsible for them, and thankfully the government is giving these you know, this benefit that is helping them. Now, of course, they're not, you know, they're young, they used to go out to pubs and things. They're not going out, they're not spending money. It's basically their money, it's for buying their food and paying their rent. And I'm glad.
They're going to stay in Ireland, and when the rest
they're going to stay in Ireland. They are coming back to work for me, you know, without any, you know, any problems. And so I'm just glad that at least I don't need to worry about the staff.
And have you been able to continue any bit of trade, any takeaway business?
Yeah. So
earlier about the catering.
So I was thinking about this catering for a long time, and then I said, okay, now this is the opportunity to start to do it. And I started straight away. So we closed the doors on the 14th, but the weekend after, so the Friday after, I sent a few emails. I put a post on Facebook, and I started to do this service where people are giving me the order the night before for collection, and they come and they pick it up themselves. I was thinking maybe to do deliveries, but it's going to be too complicated regarding insurance. I need to change my car insurance. It's too complicated. And I don't think it's going to pay back, you know, the bill, because I'm almost inside preparing the food. So it means like...
So it's just that yourself and your chef do the preparation and...
Yeah, no, it's mainly myself. So I have one of the chef maybe coming in on a Saturday morning if I have a lot of order, but otherwise it's me.
So, what's the take-up been like?
Sorry, excuse me?
Is it busy? Are people...
So, like, I have to be honest. I have 3-4 customers that they come in every weekends. And so they've been, since I opened, that I'm doing this service on a Saturday. They have their order, and they make an order for, you know, their mother and their mother and the sister-in-law, and they drop it by. And I think it's a very good thing that they do. I'm really thankful, because you know, it makes you appreciating your customers more than before. Sometimes, you know, you don't think how customers are so important, especially in this moment. Even when I closed the door down, I put an offer of 20% off for a week for my vouchers, just to try to bring a bit of revenue in. Okay. And I have to think whoever supported me. Okay. I mean, my customers have been amazing. And also they just trusted me, because like in this mess, how do they know that I'm going to reopen? So it even giving you more boost to be confident that things will be fine when I'll be back. Okay. It might be slowly, you know, things might be slower, but you know, I'm sure I will reopen. I'm not worried, but it's just, I'm so thankful to to the customers for what they did in this difficult time. So to our customers, that they've been amazing.
So do you think that they kind of the home or the collection, the takeaway collection service, do you think that has unearthed opportunities that once things get back to normal, that you'll continue?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I'll continue. Now again, it needs to have 24. Now at the moment it's 24 hours. It's probably something maybe 48 hours that I will put, but it doesn't matter. But I will do it because like it's something celebration. People, and it's easy because the food that you take from me, you take it, you put it in, it's already in trays, tinfoil trays, you put it in an oven, that's it. You don't need anything to be done. And 15 minutes, right temperature, just put it in. Or also they can be frozen. So let's say you're coming in this Saturday night, you buy 2 trays of lasagna, one is for the night, the other one goes into the freezer, you take it out next week, So it's something as well, it's like you're going to Marks and Spencer or you're going to Super Value. Instead of going there, you come into the Mirco, So again.
And I guess it's homemade food more and more because I'm cooking it the whole time. So this is homemade food from someone else, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Also, I mean, and I want to stress the fact that, can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
The fact that we make all the fresh pasta. So not the dry pasta, it's a bad pasta quality, or dry pasta can be good, but I'm more, it's like two sides. I'm more a fresh pasta man, and we make our homemade fresh pasta in house. So it's, it's something different. It's artisanal pasta. It's homemade, handmade, and it's just something that I differentiate from other restaurants, from other Italian restaurants. Okay, of course, you can't compare myself with a steakhouse restaurant because we do two completely different things.
And do you think that, so once you start coming back into business, I don't know, is it going to be May 5th or June 5th? There's so many rumors out there. But do you think that once the restaurants start opening again, like what did you say, 24 or 36 was the number of seats you had?
35, no.
35. But are you going to be max 15 or 20?
Yeah. I don't. I think be very slowly. I think there will. I think it will be, half of what we are at the moment, and I don't think it'll be fast. I think it'll be maybe another 2-3 months before. I think until September things won't come back to normal, and hoping that and I'm not a doctor and I'm not a virologist, and hoping that we won't have a second pandemic of this next autumn or winter, because nobody knows until we get a vaccine. So I think we just need to play by. I'm not doing any plans. I'm just by the day, whatever they tell us to do, I will adjust, and we'll just go with the flow, as you say, because.
But you can open up with, so if you're 35 and you can open up at 15.
Oh yeah.
And hope that you get 15 in on, or get 2 scenes, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
The business is still worth doing, even if they have the capacity.
Oh yeah. I mean, and again, I think it's all, look, if you do half of what you're doing, okay, probably I will earn less myself. Okay. But it's okay, it's, I want to make sure that my staff get hours, and that the quality of the food stay the same, that people will try to come out, without being so worried. We will follow all the HSC regulation, because if they tell us even you have to wear mask or you have to do whatever you have to do, okay, and I don't know, we'll do it, and if we have to comply with the new law, or we have to do whatever, we'll do. It's not that we just want to be reopened when everything will be safe, and at any cost.
But that I think that's really positive. I know it's hard to use the word positive in this environment, but not knowing the restaurant business and not understanding how they work, I would have thought it would have been a challenge to say, well, if you're going to half the amount of seats I can have in my restaurant, I'm not sure can I run my restaurant. But you say you can keep the doors open. You take the hit yourself personally.
I'm gonna talk. I just want to talk about my restaurant and about, because I know my restaurant. I know who my landlord is. I know who my suppliers are, and so I know how much I'm paying my staff and all the expenses that I have around, and I know I can achieve it. Okay. Now, if they tell me that it's gonna be like this for the next 5 years, today, I tell them, okay, bye-bye, I'll pack up and I'll see you later, okay? But it's not gonna be like this for 5 years. Even if it's gonna be for the next 12 months, it's okay, like I know that I can get through this, We'll just, as my landlord or as the suppliers have been understanding, we sit down and we'll talk about this, okay? It's, and hopefully the government as well will come up with some solution as well. Now, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy because, at European level, who knows how it's going to be. Of course, there is going to be economy, like it's going to be all a domino effect, okay? The problem is if the economy is going to crash completely, we're going to be like in 1929, okay? But at that stage, I'm sorry, of course, if I don't reopen, but at this stage is something, again, out of my control, but I don't have, I cannot see the future. That's why I'm like, I try to be positive because it's the only way to go forward, if I want to reopen my restaurant,
No, and I think cities really need restaurants like yours in the center of them, providing that service. So I think it's great that you can really see, like, even if you've I think we're all going to have a tough 6 to 12 months ahead of us, but you're still going to keep your doors open and produce
also,
great food.
I think as well, look, the customer that doesn't feel comfortable to come out, and I don't want to give any judgment on that customer. I do collection system. So if they don't feel comfortable to come in and they want to have my food, they can just come and collect it, in the restaurant.
Yeah. So you see yourself maintaining your customers.
Yeah. I mean, I think people will come out. They won't come out maybe as before, but people will come out because almost, I don't know, I've noticed something this weekend, okay? People were ringing me on Saturday, last minute, asking me, because you need a 24 hours notice, but they were ringing me last minute. Oh, do you have any food left? It didn't happen on any other weekends. So it's just telling me that people are starting to, coming out from the winter, let's say, like it's, people wants to come out. And, if they know that they can come out, at certain times, because maybe I can only take people at different times, they will, because they just want to come out. And so they're going to be a bit more understanding about things. I mean, this is my hope, but it's a thought that I had this weekend while I was thinking what to do.
So it's got progressively busier. The takeout service has got progressively busier every weekend.
So I tell you, the first 2 weeks, the first weekend was in March was very busy. That was the 21st. But then the other 2 weekends after, they were very quiet because there was some negativity about that kind of full lockdown, only 2 kilometers around. So it, not to be too far away than 2 kilometers and things like this. So I think people went a bit like, boom. So the second weekend was a fiasco. And I was thinking, okay, it's not worth it to do it. but I'm stubborn. I don't give up easily. So I went on again, and I went on again, and I went on again, and I'm still doing it. Last weekend and the weekend before was good, was better than, so I've done 5 weekends. First one was good, the second and the third one were bad, and the fourth one and the fifth one were good. So I hope that next weekend will be in the same way. And to be honest, I'm not here to make I'm not there to make profit. I want to keep my name out there so that people don't forget about me. And also I want to give service to people, like they just probably sick of being cooking at home 6 days a week. And, for one night, at least they feel, they're out again, with their friends, eating something, at least, just to give a bit of memories of the
No,
restaurant.
it's really great to get food, and as I say, just not cooking yourself, and especially I think, so if, like I've a reasonably young family, so there's one thing that every kid likes is pasta, and homemade pasta is exceptional. So it's nice to produce something for the kids as well, because like they're not having many eating options. Even like McDonald's is closed down. That kind of occasional treat we give them is the ice cream places are closed down. There's not much out there, but certainly your homemade pasta brought a smile to their face.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just, because I've taken up enough of your time, just to wrap it up, I have 3 questions for you.
Yeah.
First one is, I know you small children, so maybe you're not getting 8 hours sleep a night, but are you getting 8 hours sleep a night?
Yeah. 7 hours of sleep. Now, look, I always sleep. Even before the restaurant opened, I was so stressed. I never lost my sleep in my life. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
That's good. It's a good thing. And since everything locked down on the 12th, we call March 12th COVID Day, what's annoyed you most about it since? Not more so much professionally, more kind of just...
I put so much weight on because I'm not exercising very much.
So you would have been on your feet all the time. Yeah, that's
I've been on feet all the time. I used to go to the gym. I've done a bit of running, but I'm not exercising very much. And I'm not eating that much, but I put about a pound, not a pound, sorry, a stone on. I put a stone on, so it's a lot.
You literally have the COVID stone.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is the thing that is annoying me more at the moment.
Yeah. And, well, you can fix that.
Yeah.
And what's made you smile? What's brought a little bit of joy to your face since
my child, she's at home all the time, so I'm spending all the mornings with my child because my wife working from home. So I spend a lot of time with my child. She's almost 2, so.
Okay, so she's getting cute.
It's good,
Yeah. That's great. Okay, so we'll end with that. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy. Hopefully you don't have too long left with your daughter in the morning, but enjoy that time, and we look forward to your doors being opened properly and coming into your restaurant. But,
yes.
And I think it's great that you're positive about keeping the business going, and you're managing to trade through this period as well, which is pretty exceptional. So well done to you.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
No problem. Delighted. Thanks again.
Thanks, Phil. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye. 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 Bye.